Hello and welcome to a Not So Awesome review, and today we're looking at the One Shot Toys Spirit Fox Reborn action figure, basically Kurama from Yu Yu Hakusho. This figure was supposed to come out last year, right about a month after the Yusuke one came out, but they delayed it. They did the head again because people really didn't like it, and yeah, finally a year later, basically, more or less, it's finally here, and there's honestly a lot of good things to say about this figure. I know a lot of people have been hating it just by the aesthetics from the face and everything, but the more I mess with it, the more I like it, the better it is. So we're going to get into a few of those things there in a second, but let's start off with the accessories. Yeah, the accessories. I was going to say the aesthetics, but no, we're just going to start with the accessories first so we can run through all of that. So accessory-wise, it does come with a pair of fists, a pair of open posing hands, a pair of somewhat clenched posing hands, a pair of relaxed hands, two hands to hold his rose, which he does come with a rose, which is a nice big size, a hand to hold the rose whip, which he does come with the rose whip, and it is a really good size, and it is actual bendy wire that will hold its shape this time, as well as the Forlorn Hope. And he comes with a few faces, including a neutral, kind of almost smiling face, smiling looking off to the right, tree grid face, and of course the eyes closed face. So comparing it to the Dawson one, which we're going to do a lot in this review, he does come with one less face than that one, but I'm okay with it. A yelling face would have been nice, but it's fine. We don't absolutely need it. But it is something he does a lot, so I wish they had included it. He doesn't come with a briefcase, but he does come with the Forlorn Hope, which, again, looks good. I do like it. It's a pretty good accessory. You can see right here. The only issue I have with it is to be careful with this, because I feel like this could break off since it's not hard plastic. I don't know. Rubber sometimes seems like a better idea, because hard plastic obviously can break easier, but at the same time, rubber can break pretty easy too, especially when it's small connections. So again, just be careful with it. Otherwise, it's painted really nice, no issues with that. And then the rose whip, which we have here, again, a lot bigger than the one we got with the Dawson one. It looks really good, a lot more detailed and a lot more realistic in the looks department. I really like it. Getting it into the hand to hold the rose, though, you gotta be careful and hold it close to where you're putting it in, because it is rubber, and if you don't hold it from there and you just try and push it in from up here or something, you have the risk of bending it, and of course if you bend it too hard you can break it, but you can't get it in there. Just be careful. Again, make sure you put your hand on the bottom end right there and then just slide it in slowly like that. So that's my advice for the rose. And yeah, so aesthetic wise, this figure looks really good. I know a lot of people don't like the face, but it's actually been growing on me every minute since I got it. It looks less and less bad in person, at least in my opinion. And take it or leave it, I think they actually did a really good job capturing the look of this version of Kurama. The Dawson one, don't get me wrong, looks really good, looks more realistic, human proportions, but it looks more like Yoko Kurama's eyes, and there's a big distinguish between this version and Yoko Kurama. You know, Kurama's eyes are usually a lot bigger. This has that bigger look. Yes, maybe they're a little too big and maybe they should be a little bit smaller, but Yoko Kurama's eyes should be that kind of sharp thing that we got with the Dawson one. So there is a little bit of an inaccuracy to both of them in my opinion. I will say though that One Shot Toys does beat Dawson in the skin tone department. It is a little bit yellow for me, but it's not plasticky, and the Dawson one comes off plasticky, while as this one comes off more of a skin tone. It feels like there is like paint over the plastic, so it's not super shiny, it's more matted, and I do like that. Don't get me wrong, I love the Dawson coloring. It's more white, it looks a little bit better, but if you compare the hands, like you can maybe get his hand right here and focus on that, and get a fist from the other one. Yes, this one's more yellow, but this one looks way more plasticky, way more shiny. This definitely beats it just because of that. So as long as you're not comparing it like side by side, you won't see the yellowiness of the skin on this figure anyway. Aside from that, aesthetic wise, the figure looks really good. He does have nice looking tailoring suit. It's baggier. It's not baggy, but it looks like it actually fits him in comparison to Dawson one, where it looked too tight. It looked like pajamas, it looked like a costume, somebody cosplaying with a size too small. This one honestly fits so much better. The pants go over the shoes and we don't see that ankle, where on the other one we do see it. It just looks overall much better on this figure, and I absolutely like it. It does allow for some more articulation too, especially in the legs, and yeah, no real complaints when it comes to that. The hair came out really good. Again, different from the Dawson one, where it has a little bit more spikes on top. It's definitely longer on back. It is in two parts. The neck, I'll just get to that and show you right now. So let's move the rose whip out of the way here. The hair is in two parts, as in you can see right here, it's on a ball thing that goes through the neck thing right there. It goes down. It's always waving to the side, which is fine. I mean, if you could see it from the front, I'd complain more, but other than that, you can't really tell in certain poses, so it's fine. Changing the face is easy. You just pop the front off and you pop that off, and you can just change the face, unlike the Dawson one, where you have to take off the entire head, because the entire head from the ball peg is the face, which I think was a weird choice, especially considering Yusuke didn't have that. But yeah, so let me zoom out a little bit here, make sure I focus in on him and lock it in, so we can get into the articulation really quick, where he can look up, he can look down, pivot hand left and right there, look left and right. It feels loose, but it isn't. So it's really good right there. Torso, he can lean back, lean forward, again, pivot side to side, move left and right a bit. There is a little bit of movement down here, but not too much. Arm, up, down, forward, back, rotation at the upper arm, and I think there is a slight butterfly joint, and we do have that shift up for the shoulders here. So if you want him slouching, you can have him slouching, but Kurama isn't a slouch, so move those shoulders up so you can have a little bit of a better look. The double jointed elbow, rotation at the wrist, and hinge in whatever direction you want from that ball peg. Then we have a kick forward, which isn't that great. No kick backwards, but the splits so much better than the other one. I'll show you a comparison about that in a second. Is a rotation right here at the upper leg. Double jointed knee, hinge, and pivot at the foot, and we do have a toe hinge right there. And again, I'm just going to put this figure down like that so you guys can see the splits he does compared to the splits the other one does. Yeah, it's honestly night and day, and this figure can achieve the same articulation as the other one. It's just, again, the pants on him don't look great. I'm going to set these guys back up so you can get a better look and compare. So looking at these two figures together, we can see here there are definitely a big major differences. One, his head is a lot smaller than his. Yeah, if his was just a little bit smaller, I think it would fit proportionally better with this body. When we get to the head swapping part, you'll see that this actually looks pretty good on here. The other way around, it's not so bad either. This face does look better on that body, but that's just my opinion. I think this just fits the size of his body better than this one fits here, because again, he feels shorter, which he is shorter, but that face, it's just the head is way too big. So there is that. Number two, we can see here on the neck piece, it's open here, open collar. I don't like it. It looks too casual. It should be closed like it is on the One Shot Toys one, because that's more accurate to the anime itself. Here, again, it feels way too casual in my opinion. The pants look a lot nicer, a lot more uniform. You do have that little crease going down the middle, which I really like, and they do cover the shoes really well. You can see they go over, while this one shows ankle, and it makes it look like he's wearing pants that are too short for him. Not only that, his look a little bit more fluffed out, like I said, a little bit more baggier, but not baggy in the sense of his pants are the wrong size, more baggy as in the sense that he's wearing the appropriate size of pants, while he is wearing super tight pants that look like they don't fit him and just looks uncomfortable. I don't know why they couldn't get the sizing of the uniform right. I was hoping that after Yusuke they would fix it, but it looks like it's going to be a problem all the way through to Kuwabara, because they were trying to just rush everything through. They probably just reused the same template, even though they are different sizes. figure wise anyway. I do prefer the darker purple than this one. It's more towards pink. I don't know why. Just the more I look at it, the more I like this one. This one feels honestly more like he's wearing pajamas, especially with the open casual look he has here and the ankle showing. It just feels like he's wearing pajamas or something instead of an actual school uniform where it looks like on this one. Like I said, changing the heads, it's so much easier on him because you just pop off the hair and the faceplate. Him, you have to pop everything off, and then you have to pop off the back hair and the front hair, which is a little bit annoying. You can see that his back hair is definitely shorter. And the other problem with this figure, compared to One Shot in the back, like I said, longer hair. I like his looks better because it doesn't have this weird divide, but the fact that you can see the Velcro right here for the back of the shirt just sinks in that feeling of, yeah, this looks more like pajamas than an actual uniform, where here you can't see any of that. It's just looks like one solid piece. So tailoring wise, One Shot 100% wins, aside from the fact that we can't see the neck, which I think it's more of a body issue than a suit issue. Articulation wise, he does have a slight edge, though he can kick a little bit higher. It's still limited because of the pants. The pants very, very much limit his articulation, which sucks. His, yeah, of course, it's limited, but nowhere near as much as his. His definitely win there. Again, a little bit more of a plasticky look, especially in the hands. Not so much the face, but in the hands, definitely you'll see the difference. You can see the shine from his to his. And face-wise, like I said, a lot more accurate to the anime with the bigger eyes, though I do feel like they should be just a little bit smaller, or maybe the head overall should just be a little bit smaller, and his eyes should be a little bit bigger because they are more looking like they should be for Yogo Kurama than regular Kurama. And anyways, a head swap, which before I get to it, because I didn't mention it in that section, I recorded it first because of how much I liked it. When you put his head on here, it is loose. So you're going to need to add paper or something so it doesn't flop around. His head on his body fits fine. Anyways, let's move on to that comparison. Okay, so with a head swap between all the figures, we have the Dawson heads on the One Shot bodies and the One Shot heads on the Dawson bodies. And I actually really like this combo right here. Don't get me wrong, this looks better. We can see a little bit of the neck. It looks nicer. I don't know why, but when having the One Shot head toys, which I know a lot of people think are the inferior heads, on the ones that I believe are the inferior bodies just because of the clothing, I really like this. The Kurama head fits proportionally to that body so much better than he does with that body. That head fits on that body a bit better. It's the right size. It's a little bit smaller. This one, it's a little bit of a bigger head, but he has a somewhat bigger body. It actually doesn't look bad at all. Yeah, I like this swap so much better. This one, the only issue I have is just that I can't see his neck still. There we go, maybe a little bit right there. Yeah, I like this. I don't like the clothing. I wish it had that clothing on that body, but it's definitely not going to fit because of the size difference. But again, the head swap here, honestly, I prefer this over this just because it fits it better, it looks better, it's more anime accurate, and I like it. What I'm going to do really quick is just put the Yusuke heads back. I want to see what that looks like together really quick. If I put the original body, or the original head back on the original body for Urameshi. Again, it doesn't look bad having the One Shot head toy and having this one next to it just the way it is. It's surprisingly good. That's my thing. It is surprisingly good. So I didn't mention I do have two issues with this figure. One being the neck thing. The next one being the fact that he's too short. You can see Yusuke next to him right here. And yeah, they're about the same size because I believe they're on the exact same body. And although you can tell that he's a little bit bigger, especially when I have his shoulders up and I have his shoulders down, yeah, it's not right. He should just be slightly taller than that. Dyson got it right. I'm worried about Kuwabara now and hoping that he's not going to be the wrong size because Kuwabara should be taller than both of them, and Hiei definitely needs to be shorter than all of them. So that'll kind of make or break the line for me, which is disappointing because I really like what they're doing here. It's not bad. I do like these figures. Again, the more I look at it, the more I'm fine with the faces. Yes, they could be better, but I don't know. I'm just appreciating it a lot more than I was when I was looking at them on Instagram, but that's just me. And before we wrap this review up, I do want to mention that the hands do fit in the pockets a lot nicer than the other one. They're just bigger pants, so gives you more of a chance to be able to put them in there without it looking very off. So I really like that. Love the closed eyes. They look really good. Honestly, right there, that pose, that look, just, it sells it for me. And yeah, if only he was a little bit taller, I would definitely say, yeah, this is the right Kurama. But he isn't, and so it's a little bit up in the air on which one I like more. I am leaning towards this one because of the uniform and everything, but if I could get a uniform like that one to fit on the other one and put his head on that body, again, that would be the perfect Kurama in my opinion. Just like last time, it's kind of a mix mash. Nothing is perfect in either line, so you definitely have to just see what you like more, the aesthetics or the articulation or whatever it is that you prefer. For me, I really am liking this one a little bit better just because I feel like a little bit more freedom when it comes to articulating him. So I like that, but the size, that's where I'm iffy. So we'll see how Kuwabara is. I do have him pre-ordered whenever he actually shows up. But for now, it is what it is, and we'll see how things go later. I don't have the Kuwabara or Hiei from Dawson. I'll maybe get them eventually. I kind of want to see how One Shot Toys continues before I commit to them. But yeah, I'm not worried so much about the Dawson ones coming out because they do a really good job of restocking their figures and making them more available. Whereas One Shot Toys, you know, we've gotten the one release of Yusuke and we got the one release of Kuwabara. So yeah. But anyways, that is my review for the One Shot Toys Spirit Fox Reborn. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Yeah, really not much else to say other than I will see you all later. Thank you all for watching and goodbye.